Hey everyone, welcome back. And I just wanted to report in. I know it's a little bit like, not like a whole setup or anything, but now that I have the time, because I'm waiting, because this is like my last day, I am getting ready to turn in my stuff. And when I leave, I'm going to be just relieved of everything. I'm going to be full of glee. But I had to sort of like come to like the back area, but I'm waiting for people to get here so I can like actually get into the building, because apparently I'm here too early to just use my key to get in. But yeah, the last couple of days, like Wednesday and stuff like that, like it's just a confirmation with like how difficult people can be, how petty people can be. um AKA, you know, my my manager. um that I did make the right decision. Like when people try to like mess you over and they try to be petty and stuff like that, just, I want to say, just take it lying down, depending on what it is. But you guys know that I told you guys that I was going to work to the end of the week and have 3 days of personal time and sick time. So they pulled this whole, oh, this is not going to happen, and we need you to, they still wanted me to work the rest of the 3 days, but they did not want me to use any of my time off. And I was like, well, if I can't use it next week, I was like, I will be using it the week after and stuff like that. Like, I will be using that time regardless. So I'm just gonna go over here. I'm like, I'm gonna use that time regardless. So I ended up using the time for the rest of the day. So that was on Wednesday that I used it for the rest of the day. And then I also used it for Thursday, and I'm dropping off my stuff, and I will be using it for the rest of today. Because at first they didn't want to give me today. They wanted me to work a full last day before I leave. But I'm like, you know what? I should have just left and gave my computer to like my manager, like my direct manager, and had her turn the stuff in for me instead of, but like I said, I was trying to be, quiet about it and stuff like that. But like, you don't want to let people know what your left hand is doing, or let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. But for the most part, I'm like a little bit silly. Like, it's not really worth it for me to work a full day. And I'm like, I'm not going to work a full day. And if I'm going to turn in my stuff, I'll just turn in my stuff. Like, it's not that big of a deal. So, it was just like some back and forth and some pettiness. And I know that there's going to be some more pettiness today. And, I'll let you guys know about it, because I'm not going to, like, I just don't care. Like, this is my last day. And to live, well, for me, like, the good life, to live and be able to travel and focus on your own life, your own business. Like yesterday, I was able to finish so much stuff. Like, it's not even funny. I was able to finish so much stuff. Like, I did pretty much all of my like retirement investments, my research for it, updating passwords, notifying my banks and stuff like that, transferring over money and stuff into like a high yielding savings account. And like, that's another thing, guys. Like, the younger you are, the better it's going to be. Try your best to do your investments when you can do your investments. Sit down, do your research. It is not that hard. Like, going on YouTube and stuff like that. Like, I still got to go and like work on like my dividends and stuff like that to see like, what I can get, on and popping and stuff like that. And, how fast I can get money taken out of. Cause, more or less, I'll have like maybe like $200 or so of savings like every month, maybe $250 maybe of savings every month. And girl, like that's pretty good for like $1,100 a month. And just I'm just saying, like the bare minimum of everything, and planning on making, more money with the business and stuff like that. But yeah, like definitely being able to put my money into like a high yield savings account. There was like a promotion to get like an extra, I believe $300 or $350 or something like that. But still, that's accommodation for a whole month in a place like Vietnam, if not like Thailand or something like that. So hey, it's money you didn't have before. So yeah, I still gotta do like more detailed research. There's some people that I know, some Black women in particular, that do the investments, especially the dividends, and it get paid out to them and stuff like that, and that's pretty much like their income. So I still just gotta work on that, and then once I have enough money, I'll like start putting like heavily into that. I just wanted to see how things look for the next year or so. Like I said, there's a lot of things going on this year, like a lot of learning, a lot of absorbing, a lot of sort of like figuring out exactly what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. And it's not just business wise, but like even like YouTube, like I'm still tweaking things and stuff like that, because obviously I want my video, even though I'm monetized with one, I'm trying to get monetized. They are flying. I'm trying to get monetized with my other two. So, with doing titles and all that stuff and getting other people's information and going through the BS, I'm trying my best to get like I'm going to be testing like maybe every month to see like what works and what doesn't work and stuff like that. But I think I might got a good handle, and then I'll also talk about it, and yeah. And in case you guys don't know, like I didn't cut my hair. It's just like rolled into itself so it can look like a bob. But yeah, it's locked still. Ain't nobody here still. I think that's the trash people, because it's like super loud. Like it's like nobody here, and it's like 6:40 and we start at 7 o'clock. So yeah. So anywho, yeah, like I think also it's just like, I'm going to tell you guys like the whole scenario. It'll be like another video where it's like daylight and stuff outside, but I already know it's going to be like a whole video, and I'm going to be like, yep, this is what happened. Because I know it's going to happen, y'all. Like, I know, like, even like the petty, like, I'll give like a small little snippet. Like, he was trying to like rush me and be like, oh, well, yeah, like I did this and I did that. And, oh, well, you can, like, you got to give me an answer now. Like, are you going to, like, because what they wanted me to do is not do no PTO next week and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm using all of my time this week then. So they was like, oh, so you're doing like an unprofessional resignation. I was like, yep, sure. You guys are asking for unprofessional resignation. I gave you the paperwork and I sent it to everybody. So it is what it is. So for the most part, I believe I'm trying to get out of here in like 30 minutes afterwards. Like, maybe 15. I can do 15, maybe 10. Because they wanted me to work a full day before I actually like physically leave. You want me to work a full day? Girl. And then I felt like silly because like my direct manager was like, you should just called out. And I was like, yeah. I just should have. Yeah. And not even said anything and just dropped the load. But I tried to, like, I got a bunch of work dumped on me, and I'm like, let me try to allocate this and stuff like that, not for the manager's benefit, but for like people that I work with that I do like. But hey, you can't even do that. But I'm like, hey, things happen for a reason, y'all. Like, things happen for a reason, and I don't want to be in Vietnam worried about my job, and I already took that flight, and I already disconnected from everything. I don't want that, did not want that. And I'm like, if everything can be cut and dry with this situation, then everything can be cut and dry with this situation, instead of, going back and forth or whatever. But hey, it is what it is. So I'm gonna go and check again to see if it's open, because it should be like 10 minutes before, and it still ain't nobody in this parking lot. All right, bye. Me quitting my job. Man, I had like this whole plan, and I pretty much put in my letter of resignation on Wednesday. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna be doing. I will work for the rest of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be my last day. Like physically, in my head, I didn't tell them that. I told them in my resignation letter that my last day will be on that Wednesday, but they already provided me with my personal time and my PTO. My personal time and my sick time. I was trying to get my sick time and stuff, but once again, they waited and it's like one person in general, like he waited until the last minute to try to give me all this work. And when I say all this work, I mean updating stuff, like 70 different plans. And it's like little stuff, but then like all the little nuances and stuff. And we gotta have like 7 different programs open, for example, to just finish like one little change. It's like one little change, you opening like 7 different programs to finalize and complete that, and to know or to change other things. It's almost like Tetris. When you move one thing, everything else moves, and that takes a lot of time. So he was like, oh, well, we have all this stuff that needs to be done. And then he didn't give the correct amount of time, but then also how he was going about it, and just kept on like hounding me. And it's just like the passive aggressiveness. And I was gonna wait to the end of the day that Wednesday, but I sent in my resignation letter like right before I went to lunch. So before I even got back from lunch, I seen that there was like an email and stuff, and he wanted to have like a meeting. I'm like, okay, whatever. So it wasn't even another manager or the manager above him, it was HR. And what they wanted to talk about was, he's like, well, I see that you had this plan for a long time. And I was like, okay. And he's like, can you tell me what your intentions are until you leave? And I was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I can help out. I can transfer over, or explain what's going on to other people, or update people on what needs to be done for the next 2.5 days, essentially. And he's like, yeah, but like even next week, what about that? I was like, well, I already got the PTO, like not the PTO, the personal time and the sick time. And that's what it was that like ticked me off. It's like some medical stuff that was going on with me, and he acted like he cared. You know how people, the corporate people and what they do, and like, oh, okay. But then he's like, oh, I can't let you have off for this sick time to go to the doctor, because we got these deadlines to meet, even though you knew what needed to be done and you waited to give me all this stuff at the same time. But I digress. So I'm like, that's what like triggered me, because like even though I said to myself in practice I was going to do it on Wednesday anyway, I was like, my gut was telling me to quit on the spot. My gut was telling me to quit on the spot that following week anyway, and just call out sick and not give no notice at all. But yeah, I was like, well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. and you knew that there was like an ongoing thing. Like I already got the medical situation or whatever like figured out, and I was like in the clear and stuff like that. But like he didn't know that. And I just wanted to like test it, because there's been times where, for example, I wanted to have off for Christmas. Last year, I didn't have off for Christmas. But my main objective to being off for Christmas is that my direct manager, love her to death, love her down. She was off. When she was off last year, it's like he was Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, went crazy, went like just crazy, talking about this needs to be done, this needs to be done. And this is like the week of Christmas and New Year's. Nobody's at work. What are you talking about? This could have been done months ago. But I was trying to avoid that this year, because whatever reason, when she's gone, he has his control mechanisms going on, and he's like, when I say he's fucking horrible, he is fucking horrible. Vindictive, beyond irritating. Like he'll keep on poking, and then turn around and be like, oh my gosh, like why haven't you, like, and he'll flat out lie. He'll give you stuff to do and then lie and say that he never gave you like things to do. And like nobody asked for it to be done. Like that's the type, like I caught him in a few lies a couple of times just handing out work, because I will follow up to be like, what is this and what is supposed to be happening. I think in a bigger scheme, allegedly, this is just what I think. I think the last debacle from last year, even though I said it to him, like, you might need to watch out with like the process and how, like, we're getting them to pay for this stuff, because I ended up finding out that us as a company wasn't charging them what we should have been charging them for that current year, which was 2024. They were still charging them from what our rates were in 2022, and then he was also volunteering to cut down on what they already had. The price didn't go up, but you cutting it down even more. And y'all know how much inflation went up from 2022 to 2024. Okay, so he still went forward to do that, and it doesn't matter, like, if they keep on doing the work, and even if it goes up a little bit, you're still going to lose that money, because you're giving them, even if they order 2-3% more, you're giving them 4% discount. So that's personally what I feel like happened, with all the information that's coming in, because I'm not trying to keep this video going on for too much longer. I just wanted to give like a synopsis of what happened and this, that, and the other. And I'm trying to put everything together that happened in that week, because it's another thing, like I said, that sort of happened in my videos. When I recorded things and I had the microphone, it was like completely silent. It didn't like transfer over what I was saying to my camera. So even with that, he just continued with like, trying to be super controlling and trying to manipulate me and the other people that work with us. So I put in my time off for Christmas. I put that in May. He did not approve it until mid-September. Then come to find out, even recently, that some people on my team was like, oh, well, he kept on calling me and asking me, and it was more than one person. He would like call me and ask me if I want to take off for Christmas, and I kept on saying, no, I don't need to, I don't got the time, or I'm doing Thanksgiving instead, or I'm doing New Year's, or this, that, and the other. But then on top of that, I had like 60 hours in September, and they do not let you, it's a use it or lose it. They don't let you have more than 40 hours after the end of that year. So I'm thinking to myself, because I kept on asking him, I'm like, hey, are you going to approve all of my time, or do I need to redo some things, because you haven't said anything and it's been like 2 months. and he wouldn't answer me. So this is before I knew what he was doing, but I had a feeling it was happening, because I'm like, why would you not answer me? But then he'll try to be condescending and stuff afterwards. And I'm like, what is it about you not wanting me to be off for, we can't have 2 people off during, like, after Christmas to New Year's? We can't have 2 people off out of a team of like, what, 10? Seriously? And he was trying to tell me like, oh, well, these are the this, that, and the other, and we gotta figure out this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, look at it and let me know. And it's still like, that happened maybe 3 times during those 2 months. And I went to my direct manager, and she's like, wait, it's taking him 2 months? I was like, yeah. She said something to him still, and I followed up with him. He didn't want to answer me. So we have group meetings every week for like our entire team. So I brought it up, and I'm like, what are the policies for having time off? Because I'm like, you're saying that it's only 10% that can be off. So that means only 1 person can be off. But I'm like, I asked you, and you should have just told me that only 1 person could be off, so I can put in another time. Because like, if it's a use it or lose it situation, like, it's September, and got October, November, December, and I got 3 months to just sporadically use my PTO. But you said that we can't use our PTO sporadically, like as if we're calling out. We can only do sick time and personal time for anything that's last minute. So this needs to be scheduled in advance and approved in advance. So, and he's like, girl, he's just like, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, yeah, but I'm trying to figure out what needs to happen with my time, because it's been 2 months. And everybody in the, especially, you know, like the people who've been there for like at any company for a long time, I could see the look on their face, and I'm like, I knew something wasn't right, because it was like 2 months to approve. I'm like, I put in that time for Christmas, yo, for Christmas, and you still didn't want to give it to me. So it, he started like fumbling over himself, and like, it was just like word sandwich, saying one thing, have a filler. Like, he said a whole bunch of stuff without saying nothing at all. And I just got tired of asking. I'm like, so what? I'm like, why have I not got my time approved? Because I want to know, and I want to make sure that everybody's on the same. So even though he said only 10% of the team could be off, out of 10 people, right, that's 1 person. My direct manager, she already had that time off. And I'm like, I'm just waiting to see if somebody else is going to be off. Because he already approved another lady to have off 3 days that week. Up to Friday. Because it was like Christmas, like was like Wednesday, Thursday, and I believe Friday. Like, I know she had like either 2 or 3 days where she was already off. So you approved. So there's 2 people already that had that time off. But I know for a fact, because she told me that she already put that time in after I put my time in. So with that, my direct manager, she was like talking to me. She's like, yeah, he felt like you put him on the spot and stuff. I'm like, it's just a regular question to, if this is the policy, why can't we all talk about the policy together? Okay. And long story short, he ended up giving it to me, my actual PTO, all of my PTO off, but he also approved another person on top of that to have almost the exact same time that I had off, approved her too. So there's 4 people in all that had that time off. So you just didn't want to give me that time. So it's something with him, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's just like me being younger than everybody else that worked there. I don't know if he just like, he had a thing for me or what. I don't know. I don't care. I just knew that he was just being super manipulative and controlling and vindictive and petty. Not just with me, but I draw the line. You mess with me, then I'm gonna have to, So the best thing that I could do is just like, hey, I'm just gonna be like a little passe or whatever, this, that, and the other. And he's like, well, I just feel like, and this is like fast forward back to, when I put in my resignation letter, and they was like, well, apparently, when you turn in your computer, that's your last day, and you have to work the last day. And I'm like, well, if I don't have the time off or can get the time off next week, and I have to turn in the computer and stuff like that, well, I guess this will be like my last hour. And I was like, well, then you wouldn't be giving a professional resignation. I was like, yeah, that's fine. But I'm like, you are pressing for me not to have a professional resignation, because I am not going to sit up and spend half a day looking through this and looking through the documents and stuff like that to be like, oh, this is how you can quit, this is how you cannot quit, and this, that, and the other. My time off is my time off. My time off is literally part of what I get. So I will be taking off after this. I will be putting in my sick time. I will be putting in my personal time for my other 2 days. And I will come in, drop off my computer and the rest of my time. And it was like, no, well, you have to work. I'm like, I will be working for 30 minutes to turn on this computer and to tell you guys what needs to be happening on my side of things. And that's it. So I had to keep on adding it and putting it in. And when I went in Friday morning to turn in my computer, he was trying his damnedest. Girl, when I say his damnedest, he was trying his damnedest to just be like, oh, well, you finished this, or like any things that you haven't done and this, that, and the other. So I'm like, no, everything that, nothing's been started that needs to be done, and anything that needed to be done has already been done, So there's no, like, all the stuff that's coming in is new, and we already had to talk about the updates and what needs to happen. We already had to talk about that since he just gave it to me. All of this stuff is like in a good line. You already got to reiterate, you already got to talk about the updates and what needs to happen, what needs to change. So you didn't even tell me what those changes are yet. Just tell the other people that you have to make these changes. So it's not like I had like this project I was working on and I'm handing it off. Like, I made sure, that's why I told him in advance. And he knew, he knew. He was like, oh, it's good, like you just, like, everything is just sort of working together, and you just been so busy. And I was like, hey, things happen. So I give the password or whatever, which I felt like was weird, because I'm like, okay, well, IT can look at everything. But he was trying to be nosy and shit. I'm like, what you gonna do, fire me? So he's trying to be all like, well, for IT's sake and this, that, and the other. So I give like my little password and stuff, and he's like, oh, well, you finished this and you never sent it to us via email. I'm like, but I saved it. I put it in there. Like, you have like the little things of like in progress, assigned, and all that stuff. I'm like, this is completed. This is completed. This is all the documents that's in there. The documents are where they need to be. And he's like, oh, well, can you email me those documents? And I feel like he did not believe me that I did it. So I emailed it to him. And I was like, okay. And he's like, oh, you got anything to add? I'm like, oh, this is it. Everything's in your hands. You got it. So I go to the back to chop it up with the people, whatever, because I'm waiting for my direct manager to say, bye. Like, I know it was, for me, I knew it was going to be like, oh, girl, I miss you type thing, and I feel you, and this, that, and the other. Like, like a little chitty chat. But after he like sat there and he asked me, and he kept on asking me questions like, what did I do? What did I not do? You already went over everything, because this is a manager above my direct manager. So you're already giving this work and stuff to other people. You already, like, I've been gone for 2 days. This is Friday. Like, what else do you, you know everything that I need to do, then some. Like, cause my work that is assigned to me comes through you. You know what's going on. So I was like, he was trying to get me to, well, I did. Like, he was like, oh, can you just show me what you have to do? And I'm like, I looked at him like, really? I'm like, you know what I have to do. And he's like, oh, well, can you show me? And I'm like, here we go. And I'm like flying through it, girl. Like, this is the fastest I've ever done. Like, I click a clack it, okay? Just click a clack it. Because you ain't gonna be having me here all morning, okay? So I put all that stuff in and showed him, did a quick synopsis, and gave him like the password and stuff, skedaddle, talking to the guys in the back. And then my direct manager comes, and he has her, it's like he told her to ask me what needs to be done, because as if he never did it. So she's asking me the questions, and I'm like, yeah, like I told him, this is what needs to be done. She was like, oh, like, it's not much, this is it. Y'all, when I say he tried to drag it out, all this stuff happened within like 30 minutes. He tried to drag it out. You ain't dragging nothing, girl. You ain't dragging nothing out, girl. Everything's done. Everything is where it needs to be. And right when I was getting ready to like get up, and me and her just talking and stuff, and she's just standing there, and it's like, I feel like, and you can see the wheels turning in his head, like, what else can I try to give her, what else? And he's like, oh, well, there's a lot of emails that I see that you didn't reply to. And I was like, look at me. And I'm like, look at these emails, and I'm pressing the down button. I'm like, this has nothing to do with me. 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 I'm like, did anybody tell you that I didn't do anything that they asked me to do in the last 6 months? Have I not met my deadline of everything in the last 6 months? There's nothing else for me to do. All right? Goodbye. And the thing about it, y'all, like, they hired another guy, but they did not have any accounts to give him directly, per se. There was accounts that was assigned to me and assigned to other people that they didn't even ask us if we needed help with. They would just assign it to him. So I feel like they was trying to manipulate and just control the situation so they can try to evaluate other people and see if they can get this new person trained to do as much work as possible. And if they can get him to do certain tasks and certain jobs, then they would push out the next person. Because there was emails that was coming out like, oh, this person was laid off, this person was laid off, this person got cut off, this person got laid off. And I was like, for me, I'm like, you don't have to tell me twice. I'm a millennial. You don't have to tell me twice. I see a train coming, girl. I see that train coming. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take one for the team. And I'll be out there. Okay? I'll be out of here. I'm fine with being out of here. I am more than fine. Because even when he kept on saying, like, oh, well, you had this plan for a while. You had this, like I had, like, this vindictive, like, it's just the tone that he was carrying. It's like I did something to him. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, you don't want to let me go to the doctor. You don't want me to take Christmas off. You don't want me, like, you just can't even be honest and be like, hey, I'd rather you work and stay here for Christmas and stuff like that. Let me see how you can be compensated. Like, no, you want me to get my time taken, and you want me to, like, just use my time. I mean, not use my time. You want me to lose my time. Because you should have just been honest with me and straightforward with me about what you wanted me to do, instead of trying to manipulate me and try to go all the way around the world and try to get other people to do stuff like and try to manipulate everybody. So I know he has control issues, but if you're seeing this, hey bitch. So hey, like I said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander now. Like, isn't it? Isn't it? At the end of the day, you don't have to be a butt. You don't have to be nasty. You can just keep it moving, okay? You just keep it moving. You don't have to be that type of person. But yeah. With that, I said my goodbyes. My direct manager, she's like talking to me, And she's like, oh, I'll just drop you off at Target, because, you know, I just needed to get a little bit of stuff, and I wanted to sort of just, you know, walk around the plaza and stuff. And then when I got bored with that, I like headed back to, like, you know, my Airbnb, so I could sort of, you know, pack everything in and get everything ready for me to finally leave. And I'm like, girl, when I left, I was like, and I woke up the next day and I was like, I quit my job. I quit my job. I quit my job. Just to let go like that, it's like, it's, I won't say it's crazy, but I'm like, it's just the feelings and emotions that you get that makes it feel crazy. And this video is going way longer than I thought, but I just had to like say it and to like make it clear that my first week leaving the United States and stuff like that, emotionally, it was crazy. It's like that letting go feeling. Like, I can't stop myself for smiling. I'm feeling like the backside of my cheeks are getting tired. But even some people that I've seen and met, and now that I'm trying to do like social media and talking on social media and stuff now and expressing myself, and I was like on IG, and my old hairdresser from Philly was like, I seen her, like, girl, is that you? She was like, oh yeah. She's like, we gotta catch up. I'm like, yes, we do. And like, it's just like, now I feel like I have the time to talk to people, to actually talk to people and connect with people and touch bases with people. And I have the freedom to like engage with people instead of being like, oh, I gotta work. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I always didn't do something, because like, it was always based around work. It was based around work, saving, trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to get this, trying to get that. And now, especially being like newly single and stuff, like, girl, I don't have to worry about nothing. I'm about to get up, I'm about to get ready to do this little walkie walk, take these little pictures, come back in, sit up, probably do some work, listen to, because at night, and that's another thing, like, you know, I watch YouTube and stuff for the most part, so I can see people from overseas and like, you know, in the States and stuff, like, oh, you know, they talking and stuff like that, and I can be able to check in with like these late times, like in the morning, like, yeah, like early in the morning and stuff like that. But yeah, I got my time that I put in, I got my time that I did a lot of work, and I was working a lot. And the blessings I received, I know this is just the beginning. I know it's just the beginning. And there's no other way around it. It's just, there's no other way, for at least for me personally, for me to feel about a lot of these things. Like the last couple of months, my divorce, my tax incomes and stuff like that, and how everything got paid off, like the money that came in, things that I wasn't even expecting, even with like my other YouTube video getting ready to be monetized and stuff like that. And even with this, like I was just speaking, and you might think that it's small, but I'm like, even with this video, not this video, but this channel so far, and me just speaking my truth, because you can see I can talk for a while, but me just speaking my truth and things of that nature is like 9 people followed me. 9 people followed me. That's crazy. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later. And if you have any questions, if you want me to go and see something, you got any suggestions, just let me know. Like, subscribe, and comment, and I will talk to y'all later.